Are you ready to have your website get found by the right people? Are you looking to rank at the top of Google so you get more traffic to your website? Are you ready to learn how to use SEO and content marketing to grow your organic traffic? If so, you are in the right place, my friend. Welcome to the Simple SEO Content Podcast, where I show you how to combine the power of SEO, search engine optimization, and content marketing to build your like, know, and trust factor with your audience, which allows you to get found by the right people and turn those visitors into buyers. No more frustration or confusion, and no more time wasted wondering if you're doing your SEO right. It's time to learn how to use SEO and content marketing to grow your business. Hi there, my friend. It's Rachel here, and today's business owner bonus podcast is all about goal setting as promised. So one of the ways that you can get more done and work fewer hours and stay focused and on track and really build this business that supports the lifestyle that you want is by being very focused on what you're doing, and having goals will help you stay focused. It's also going to help you avoid shiny object syndrome. And I'm going to explain at the end how you can avoid shiny object syndrome, because I know that's a big challenge for a lot of entrepreneurs. And that's part of where we waste time. So when I was in the corporate world, there was a ton of focus on goal setting and monthly goals and quarterly goals and team goals and department goals and annual goals and clients goals. And everybody in corporate likes goals. The reality is goals are really useful. They help us stay focused and on track. And by having goals for the business, I can very easily determine whether or not an opportunity is going to be worth my time. And if you're going to build this business and work part-time and build the life that you really want and the business that sustains it, you are going to have to be very protective of your time, my friend. You don't want to waste it. It is valuable and precious. And the only way you're going to make this work is if you're really, really cautious and protective of your time. So let's start with goals. The best thing you can do is to set goals for your business. Now, goals are one thing. Smart goals are another. And I want you to set SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they are realistic, and they're timely, or they have a time frame attached. So when you're setting a goal, you want to be very specific. You don't want to just say, I'm going to increase website traffic, because that's a great goal. But how are you going to do that? And how are you going to know if you've achieved it? And how long is it going to take? And is it realistic? And all of that. So I'm going to increase website traffic. Not a good goal. I am going to increase my website traffic by 50% in the year 2024. Pretty good goal, as long as it's realistic. If you're going to do that, you've got to figure out how you're going to support that goal. So first thing you're going to want to do is think about SMART goals: specific, measurable, obtainable, realistic, and timely. So when you're setting goals, really think about, does it fit into the SMART, S-M-A-R-T framework? Is it specific? Is it measurable? How will you know whether or not you have achieved your goal? Is it attainable? Is this a goal that your business can attain, can reach? If you are currently doing $5,000 a year as a side hustle, maybe saying, I'm going to go full time with my business, and I'm going to work 15 hours a week, and I'm going to earn 7 figures, may not be attainable or realistic for you in the position that you're in today. You might want to take incremental steps to get from where you are to where you want to go. Also, realistic. Is this something that you can realistically do in the time frame that you're setting out to achieve it in? And then finally, timeline, time frame. Is there a time frame associated with this goal? Because if you don't have something you can measure and you don't have a time frame, how do you know if you've achieved your goal or not? Because you don't know. If you just say, I want to increase my website traffic, okay, if you get a 1% increase in your website traffic, you've technically achieved your goal. If that 1% increase in your website traffic took you 3 years, you've technically achieved your goal because you didn't set a specific percent increase, nor did you set a specific time frame. So you need to have that specific percent increase, that percent lift, and that time frame so that it'll help you as we go through the next process. So each quarter, I want you to choose a maximum of 3 to 5 SMART goals that you're going to work on for the quarter. So what I want you to think about is, what are you wanting to do with your business in the next quarter? If you have, maybe you want to create an online course, or you want to offer a coaching program, but you've not done it yet, then maybe that's your quarterly goal, is to create the course, or to get the coaching certification, or to create the 12-week coaching program. Maybe you want to add a new product. Maybe you have a course, but you have not yet launched it. Maybe you've been afraid to launch it. Then maybe your goal for the quarter is to launch that course. Maybe you're in real estate and your goal for the quarter is to sell 4 new homes. So whatever it is, create 3 to 5 goals that are going to be things that you can work on. So you can choose one big main goal. If you have a big main goal, like I am going to launch a course, and so you're going to spend the quarter building out an online course, that's probably going to be the main thing that you work on for the next quarter. And then maybe your goals will be smaller. They'll be broken down, and we'll talk about this in a second. They'll be broken down each month into stages of the process. This really helps you with the accountability and helps you continue moving forward. It also helps you avoid wasting time, which allows you to be more focused, be more protective of your time, and get more done. So let's say that you're going to create a course. My quarterly goal for Q4 is to create my course. Now, I know that creating a course is a huge undertaking and it's a lot of work. And in order to get a course created and then ready to launch, and let's say I'm going to launch in January, then I need to lay all the foundation in October, November, and December. So now, as the business owner, I'm going to look at my calendar for October, November, and December, and I'm going to look at it very realistically, kind of like we talked about last week when we talked about planning your week. You can use the same process to plan your quarter. So me personally, if I were looking at Q4, I would be looking at the fact that we have a week off in October for fall break. We have half days in October. We have 3 days off of school in November for Thanksgiving, though I like to take that whole week off because for the last decade, we've taken the whole week off and traveled. And then in December, school gets out. We've got some half days. And honestly, I like to be done by about December 15th, and I like to take close to a month off. So for me, for Q4, I know that I actually have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 full weeks in Q4 rather than 12, which means if I want to create a whole new course, I now have 9 weeks to do it instead of 12, which means I'm going to have to be super focused. So be very realistic. Can you create a new course in 9 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever it is that are going to be your work hours, your work weeks during that quarter? So set your quarterly goal. I'm going to create X course and have it ready to go in December so I can launch in January. Then for each month, October, November, and December, what do you need to do in order to be ready to launch that course in January? So in October, you probably need to outline your course material. In November, you should probably finalize your PowerPoints, and in December, you should probably record it, edit, and probably even write your launch emails, which means that's a lot of work to get done in December. So you might actually want to push some of those back. So now maybe October is to outline and do your PowerPoint, and maybe in November is where you're going to really work on recording and editing and uploading, and maybe December is where you work on your funnel and you create your emails and you create your launch plan because you want to take off for the holiday break and then come back strong in January. So now you know for the month of October, you need to outline your course and you need to create your PowerPoint decks. Now, if you're doing a 12-week course, that's going to be a lot of PowerPoint decks. That could easily be 25 to 40 decks, depending on how many lessons you have in each module. So you're going to need to break that down week by week by week. So if I'm going to have 12 modules or 6 modules or whatever it is, you do your outline, you determine how many modules, and then you break those modules down into lessons. And then you determine how often do I need to work on this? How many days a week do I want to do all of it, all the outlining and all the PowerPoint decks in the first 2 weeks and then focus on other work? What do you want to do? And then the same for November. How long do you need to record? How long do you need to edit and upload? And then for December, how much time do you need to create those emails? Because remember, a launch sequence of emails is a lot of work. That's at least 12 emails, probably more than that, because you also have the emails to get people to sign up for your webinar or whatever it is. And if you're going to launch in January, do you also need to create your webinar in December, or are you going to maybe create your webinar and your launch sequence in early January? So you want to really think about, what do you need to get done? Okay. So now you have your goal of creating your course in Q4. You have 3 months to work on it. So now you're going to break it down, and each month you're going to have a goal. So for the month of October, your goal is to outline and create your PowerPoints or whatever format you're going to use to teach. You're going to create that in October. So your goals in October are all going to tie to creating that. So 1 week it may be to do the outline. The next week it may be to do the design of the deck. The third week it might be to do the content. The fourth week it might be to do revisions, whatever it is. Then in November, it's going to be all about recording and editing. If you don't already have background in recording and editing, then you may need to have a day or two where you're researching or you're testing, you're playing around with recording data, recording programs to figure it out. You're trying to see if you need to get a special mic or a camera or what you need to do it. Then you're recording and then you're editing. And then in December, you're getting whatever next steps ready. So the way that we do this, by setting a goal, it helps us stay focused and stay on track, because we always know what the next step is, because you've set your goal and now you've broken your goal down into 3 attainable steps or 3 realistic steps. And then each of those steps you're going to break down. And those individual steps are what you're going to work on each week as you're doing your project plan and you're figuring out your week. You're going to look at your goal sheet and see, what do you need to have done this week in order to achieve your quarterly goal for your business? Now, I said we're going to learn how to avoid shiny object syndrome. This is the best way that I know to stop shiny object syndrome in its tracks, is to answer the question, does this opportunity, program, tool, social channel, whatever, does X help move me towards achieving my goal for the week, the month, or the quarter? If the answer is yes, then you can pursue it. If the answer is no, write it down on a list and let it be something that you look at in the future. We lose too much time to shiny objects and rabbit holes and areas that we don't really need to dig into today. And that's part of what keeps you in that hustle cycle and running and spinning and spinning and spinning and not making progress in your business. So answer the question, does X opportunity move me closer to achieving my goal? If it does, then you pursue it. If it does not, then you put it on a list and you look at it in the future. You don't worry about it today. Everybody and their brother just joined Threads. Cool. Good for you. I'm building a course this quarter. I'll check out Threads later. It is okay. Do not worry about FOMO. Your business will grow because you are focused and you are moving forward. And each day you're doing something to move yourself forward in your business. It will make a much bigger difference in what you're doing than flitting from item to item or seeing, oh, I'm going to try Facebook ads this week. I'm going to learn social this week. I'm going to learn threads. Stop doing that. That's wasting time. That's wasting effort, and you're giving up your focus. And that's why you're feeling like you have to work around the clock to make your business work. Just stay focused and look at your goals, print them out on a piece of paper next to your desk, and stay focused on them. If it doesn't align and it doesn't help you achieve your goal right now, don't worry about it. All right. If you have any questions, you know how to find me. DM me at Etched Marketing Academy on Insta, and let's chat. Let me know if you're liking this series, if it's helping you, if there's more that you want to learn about. I get so many questions about this kind of stuff. I love teaching it, but I only want to do it if it's really beneficial for you. All right. Thanks so much. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye. That's all for today's episode of the Simple SEO Content Podcast. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you visit my website, etchedmarketing.com, and visit the freebies tab. Right there, you're going to find the SEO Content Quick Start Guide along with the free SEO class. So you'll have everything you need to know to get started with SEO and content marketing. Then do me a favor, if you wouldn't mind, if you would do a rating and a review of this podcast on your favorite platform. That would really help spread the message, and I do greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram at Etched Marketing Academy, and I will see you right back here next week.